There's a couple of important things to know about the latest production from Opera Omaha. It's experimental.
And you know what else? It's free. You heard that right. Details on how to reserve seats are just a couple minutes away.
Yeah, but first, let's learn more about Stranger from Paradise. Stage director Kevin Lawler and performer Matthew Clegg are both here this morning. Good to see you guys. So which part is experimental, the production or the free part?
Maybe both,
Maybe both.
But the production is very different from your traditional grand opera production. In a number of ways. One is that we're an audience of 300 seats rather than 3,000 seats, and we get people really close into the singers, and there's a lot of theatrical staging that you can't do when you're in the giant Orpheum, and you have to do things a lot bigger there. So
it's going to be a cozy atmosphere. What's the story, Stranger from Paradise? What's the story behind it?
Do you want to?
Sure. Well, so it's about the poet and artist William Blake, British artist, kind of about his life. I mean, do we want to spoil it?
Don't spoil. We don't want spoilers.
I mean,
but give us the premise.
Sure. I mean, it takes place. It's kind of a series of scenes, not only scenes of his life, but also scenes that involve some of his work, some of his art and poetry as well.
You're from here. I think people are always interested to know how people get into opera, because it's not what a lot of us, hey, I'm going to go into college and major in opera. It's how did you get involved in it, and where have you been?
Sure, yeah. So I'm actually from southern Utah. I've been living in Lincoln for 5 years, though. Love it, and absolutely love it. I started singing in high school and went to college more interested in musical theater, but became interested in opera and continued and studied that and got better and better at it until I really have come to love and appreciate it.
And the production is a little bit unique because it's a collaboration between Opera Omaha and then Great Plains Theater Conference. How does that combination work? How did that come about?
Well, that's another thing that's part of that experimental process is trying to meld kind of different theater techniques with opera techniques and see what happens. And Roger Weitz, the general director for the opera, came and saw a production that I did a number of years ago that was a very small experimental production. It was actually in an OPPD power station. And he loved the production so much, he said, you know, can we create something for the opera that's like this, that uses some of these techniques? And so here we are.
Well, the opera there's so much tradition with opera. So when you start experimenting with the opera, what do those aficionados think of that type of toying around with their beloved opera?
I think they're, I mean, it's yet to be seen.
I guess that's why it's experimental,
I think they're going to absolutely love it. And actually the music is fairly traditional. The composer, Nevada Jones, has written some gorgeous music, and it's not this kind of wild experimental music you'd think of. It's more the staging techniques that are a little bit, and the designers that we have are doing that, but the music's just absolutely beautiful. So traditional folks will love it.
Yeah, good.
The staging techniques you mentioned, the fact that this is free, this is at a different venue than people are used to. It's on the South Omaha campus of Metropolitan Community College. Who should come to see this? Like, can first-time opera goers try this out, or is this something more for somebody who's been going to the opera for years and wants to see something different?
I think it's for anyone.
Yeah,
I think it's very accessible. And like Kevin said, the music is just exquisite. It really is really beautiful, and the story is a human story. I think everybody will find something to connect with and something that speaks to them in this story.
And tell us a little bit more about your role specifically.
Sure. So I am one of 3 William Blakes. So we have a boy William Blake, a young William Blake, and an old William Blake. And I am the middle. I'm the young William Blake. And so that allows several points of his life to be explored and shown throughout the course of the opera, which is really neat.
Yeah, and Kevin, as stage director, do you feel pressure with this production? I mean, because it is a little bit different.
Not really. I've been doing it for 30 years now, and it's you just tell the story as best you can, and hope for the best. And yeah.
Well, there's some free opportunities to learn more about The Stranger from Paradise. Friday, May 19th at 12:15 p.m. There's a free program at Opera Omaha called midday music, which provides really a quick taste of the opera and features a performance as well.
This is open to the public. Attendees are encouraged to bring their lunches. Who would you invite to see something like this?
Anybody, and especially people who haven't seen the opera before. That's part of the reason we're in South Omaha, right there at the South Campus, which is a very public, spot, and why it's free, and that's connected with Playfest, which has a number of performances throughout the week across the city, and they're all free. So I would invite anybody who is curious about the performing arts, would like to see something, but doesn't want to risk a $100 ticket at the Orpheum or something to. Please come and see it.
Very accessible. And ticket holders can come to the Metropolitan Community College South Campus 50 minutes prior to the curtain to hear a prelude talk by the conductor or the director to learn more about the opera. What's going to go into that? What's that discussion going to be like?
Well, I think it's conductor Hal France, the composer Nevada Jones will be here. He's a local guy, and I'll be speaking. And so we'll talk a little bit about the opera, what they're going to see, what people experience. William Catherine Blake, totally fascinating couple. William Blake, one of the greatest artists that's ever lived. So.
And let's mention this one more time. Free, free, free. You can see the website right down there, operaomaha.org. We'll also link you back from our website. Great opportunity to check it out. Congratulations on the production.
Yeah, and good luck with it. We appreciate you coming and taking time to talk to us today.
Hope you can come and see it.
Absolutely,
You bet. All right, well, our